Typhoon Faxai made landfall in Japan earlier as a Category 3 typhoon, is still a Category 2 with 105 mph winds and a pressure of 958 millibars as of 5 AM Japan time this September 9th. It's one of only 5 or 6 typhoons to make landfall within 100 miles of Tokyo as a Category 3. We're looking at Urayasu for the CDPS right now, and it is a Stage 5, potentially devastating for the area, and it is extremely close to the Tokyo region. Indeed, it is over it right now. Here's the current position: 35.7 north, 139.8 degrees east, and the storm has a rather equal wind field, not particularly large, but large enough to deliver damaging tropical storm force winds to a wide area. It's just 6 miles from the center of Tokyo, 14 from Chiba, 22 from Yokohama, 60 from Hitachi, and 108 from Iwaki. Well, looking at the warnings at this point: typhoon warning for Shizuoka, Kanagawa, Tokyo, Saitama, Chiba, Ibaraki, Fukushima and Miyagi, and a gale advisory for several other areas nearby: Mie, Yamanashi, Nagano, Guma and Tochigi. Looking at the expected rainfall over the next 7 days, we could now possibly be looking, according to some of the models, of a further 8 to 10 inches of rain for some parts of the eastern coast of Japan. And of course inland, obviously a lot of mountains in the area, those regions could get in excess of that. That's about 250 millimeters of rainfall expected in these areas from the storm. And looking out towards the next 7 days, not particularly relevant to be looking out that far. There isn't too much else that's going to be affecting the area in that period of time. Well, looking at the sea surface temperatures, not going to mean much for much longer. Still around 28 degrees it was up until the landfall point. It will now drop below 26 once it emerges off the east coast of Japan, so we'll see a post-tropical transition start to occur pretty soon. This is the expected forecast over the next few days. Could still be a typhoon as it emerges off the eastern coast, and then it gradually weakens to a tropical storm, loses its northern wind field, and eventually will complete a post-tropical transition as it moves out over the open western Pacific. Looking elsewhere, later on in the week, not much is going to happen in the Japan-Korea area, although Invest 95W could develop into a tropical cyclone in the Philippine Sea later on this coming week. Percentage chance of tropical storm force winds is pretty clear cut. It's pretty much 100% in the whole Tokyo Bay area. There you can see some of those locations pretty much at 100%. 97% Hitachi, 96 at Iwaki on the eastern coast. Inland, those percentage chances disappear rather quickly, but anywhere within 50 miles of the storm's trajectory will get significant tropical storm or maybe even typhoon winds. This is an old model run because RAM isn't updating at this time. As you can see, it took advantage of that low wind shear to develop into a Category 4 storm at its peak intensity, and the models, as you can see there, didn't do a bad job at all. Very close knit. It was always a good confidence forecast, and that's going to continue for the most part as it moves out to sea. This is the latest satellite imagery. You can see how the eye did completely capitulate just before landfall, so that is good news. We were worried that this storm could have been the strongest ever to strike the coast of Japan. Only a few other, the Tokyo area I should say, only a few other storms have managed to do so at this intensity, one of them occurring in 1917, another one in 1958, Ida, and Ida of 1966 as well. The most recent was Maon in 2004, which also capitulated rapidly upon making landfall, and this storm looks like it's going to weaken a little bit, but will still remain a threat for some time. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com. You can also find our YouTube channel. If you're not there already, you may well be. Good chance of that. Subscribe if you haven't. You can also find our Facebook page, search Force 13 all in text, and our Twitter handle, it's at Force 13 on there. You can also help the project become even better by becoming a patron. You can see more information about all the benefits involved by visiting patreon.com/Force13. With a special thanks to these people for being our most valued patrons this month. You can also check out our growing merch store so you can show Force 13's colors wherever you go. You can also find a link to our Discord server underneath this video in the description.